Am I sounded now? Am I sounded now? I hope. Okay. So I can put those back in the box. Like I said, I got just about everybody's from all my different endeavors. I'm selling a lot of things on like eBay and Marketplace, and because I'm trying to empty my house and my storage. So I do have a problem and I can't get a hold of this person. So if anyone sees less likes coins, it's all one word. Les is over on the other side of the big pond, and we failed to catch the fact that he was not in the US, and he won a prize, and it was a pretty substantial prize. Well, I thought I would go ahead and try to send that to him, but it failed and it came back, so I'm not quite sure how to handle it. My thought is to send him whatever the PayPal cash equivalent would be for that prize. But I need to talk to him, and I have looked online, and I have not been able to catch up with him. So anyway, and as y'all can tell, my scope is starting to go a little wonky. I have two other ones that are actually in my giveaway box, with the thought that maybe somebody would want them for the purpose of trying to get them focused better than I can, because they work, I just can't get them focused very well. And so anyway, let me make sure I got all my screens on the right things and sound turned off on the right one, and yep, okay, we're doing good. The Suze is almost making sense today. Woohoo! And guess what we have? We have the car wash quarters. So, gifting wind back to me. Okay, I put it back in the box, and I thank you very much for doing that. Hi, Larry Powell. So anyway, I did get to the car wash. I'm not sure how this camera work is gonna come out today. I mean, you may well see me in my pajamas without my teeth and my face all swollen up, and there's just really nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. In order for me to show you some of the items that might just happen, I had planned. Hi, Sir Benji. I had planned on following this with jewelry, and the problem is I can't figure out how to get the pictures from my phone to come up on the screen. I'll be thinking about it while we do the car wash quarters portion of the program. I'm not, I'm an adequate user of StreamYard, but sometimes I can't figure out how to do things like from the phone to the camera or that kind of deal. So I may have to do those as a separate thing after the fact, because there are going to be a lot of what I'm referring to as pop-up auctions. I have to empty this apartment and also a storage unit down the street. Well, Deej, I tried sending them to my Amazon photo account, and now I can't figure out how to get into my Amazon photo account. So I'll get it figured out here the next day or so. I make no promises. Yeah, it's going to take me some time to transfer all of those things. But anyway, we have, I'm going to see how this works. I've got a couple of cameras hooked up. Mostly I'm going to be using the scope on this one, I believe. I have no idea what you're going to see here in a minute other than a big mess. Yep. See, there's my shelves. These are the problem children. Everybody else is going out tomorrow. See, I'll have your mailing labels. Everybody's stuff is ready to rock and roll, except I have one thing for eBay. And yeah, like I said, you're going to see my jammies and all kinds of weird stuff. I did find our famous missing book, the one we've been working on to give away. And the 2 states we are going to be looking for tonight in our car wash quarters in hopes of filling the book are North Dakota and Washington. Now, the thing I do not like about this book is it did not have a slot for the territories, Puerto Rico and such. So I did happen upon this Puerto Rico quarter in my grocery change. So I will just be putting that in a flip, and it will go with the book. If I find any of the other territories floating around loose, we'll get them in there too. The original book we used had spaces for all those. I think this is the 3rd one of these books we have given away, so I filled mine, and then we've given away a couple others. So let me see what we got here. Okay, those are states. We'll start with the states. And then I got something really cool to show y'all that was in an envelope full of foreign coins that I got. And I'm glad I took a closer look at it. Okay, let's go over here to Mr. Microscope. and we will be hunting for North Dakota and the state of Washington. And I want to thank everybody that's here. I do have my Nightbot running, and y'all know what that means. That means that if I have the Nightbot running, I'm usually going to be giving something away, or we're going to be playing a game where you qualify to win something later on. So, in order for your name to register on that list, you do need to post some kind of little something over here in the chat. There's James Eller. Good. Got a question for him too. I posted it back earlier, but I wasn't sure if he was in the room yet. James, you have been telling me for the last several wins of yours not to send your package yet. Well, your package is starting to like fill up my parking space outside. So you need to let me know what you want to happen with that. Sometime, you don't have to do it right this minute, but yeah, it's getting a little chunky. Okay, so we need to be looking in this bunch, of course, for our Washington, our North Dakota, and of course anything that looks peculiar. So let's see what looks peculiar or looks like Washington State. Now, I don't know where my gloves are. I have gloves. I try to wear them. I just don't always know where they are. Look, he's talking about personal problems, Mikey. Okay, let's figure out where the scope got oh my goodness, come on now. Let's not be having this kind of problem. I usually put it right on that worn out spot, and it usually what all is in your package. I'll have to look, James. I'll email you what's in there and weigh it and tell you what it's up to. I don't understand. I'm having a problem. There we go. That's the problem. I was on YouTube and I needed to be on StreamYard. Okay. Yep. Not on the list. Now, I do go back, for those of you who are not familiar with how I do things, I do go back and look at these for errors and so forth when I can afford to do that. Sometimes, unfortunately, they end up in the laundry machine, but I do try to look at them before I stick them down the chute for things like funny ears of corn and that sort of thing. This whole car wash deal started when I almost put a silver quarter into a car wash that I had just gotten from their change machine. And I thought, well, if there's one in here, there could be more. I think we have found so far, since I started it, 3 that's an odd looking in 1788. Yeah, I like looking for the horsey one too. There's a bunch of Teddy Roosevelt ones that I found that are messed up, where they've got cracks and different just stuff that shouldn't be there. But North Carolina was hoping for North Dakota. Well, we got north, we just didn't get far enough north. Louisiana. Yeah, I had an interesting day today. We have it's kind of a sad situation. We have a gentleman that they allowed to move into the building. And when they did so, they did not realize that he was an unmedicated schizophrenic. And every once in a while, this guy just goes off. Speaking of Delaware, any comments, Mikey, on that horse? Of course, that's a Delaware horse. That's not a Nevada horse. So maybe they poop different there. Maybe they poop different there. There's our Washington. Woohoo! There's our Washington. So all we need left to give this book away is a Utah. Now, the thing is, I could go get one from the bank. I could have somebody send me one, but that defeats the purpose of the project. And the whole purpose of the project was, and still is, to allow people to collect coins with virtually no money to invest. Most people get change in their pocket from the grocery or the laundromat or whatever. Mine just happens to be the car wash for a couple of reasons. Number one, I have to go right by that car wash every week, and because there's a place of business right in front of it that I have to go to. So I went there one day to see if they had tokens or coins, and it turns out not only do they take coins, but it only costs $1 to wash my car there, and their change machine takes $20 bills, which is real handy for me because I don't carry a lot of change. So usually when I'm headed off that way, I am going to have to go by the ATM, which of course only spits out 20s or larger. So I go and I get my 20 and I take her down to the car wash. I usually use a couple of dollars, $1 to wash my car and $1 to vacuum it. And then I bring the rest of them home and we play with them here in the Lodo coin show. So we are down now to needing North Dakota. But anyway, the whole idea was everything has to come from like out of your pocket, or my favorite is I have a lady down in Georgia that I got started with her grandson. They go through her husband's poker winnings every week before he's allowed to mix them in with the other stuff. They go through and see what they can find in there. And he has found a couple silvers. So it's just a way of letting people play the home game, sort of, without going and investing a lot of money. And it does get, like, my nephew got very interested in coins because I gave him a coin, one of the painted coins from Hawaii, and he was born in Hawaii. So that, of course, piqued his interest. Okay. Now, this is my personal book. I have been working on this book since last May, when I kind of got shut in because of the COVID situation. I was down in Georgia at the time, and it was really, really hot outside too. So wasn't much weather for me to metal detect. So I started working on my coins again. Now, this is my personal book, which we still have not completed. This is the deluxe edition that has spaces for both Philadelphia and Denver. And I've been working on it for quite a while. 2010 and 2010, 2011, and 2012 are pretty weak. 2013, I'm missing a couple. And then I'm missing one 2019, a couple of 2020s, and one of my airmen. I did get one of the airmen the last time. So, like I said, this is my personal book. It's a little hard to work with because it's so big and I don't have a lot of workspace. But we got pretty excited when we found the W's in here. We really were not expecting to find W's in the car wash, but that has happened. Oh, and then I found the new quarter. I'm glad they had a little extra space at the end of this book, where they have the, I can't say it very good, but it's the crossing the Delaware, the new quarter. So I got those from both mints, so I'm kind of stoked about that. But I'd really like to finish this one because I do have another empty book that I'd like to start. Unfortunately, it is not the deluxe version and does not have the places for both mints. But it's still a nice book, and this just fell out. And I gotta figure out where it fell out from. It's one of the problems with this book is, sometimes they don't stay in the holes very good. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to lay it up there because I need to put the scope back on. And then I want to run over here real quick and see. Yeah, so far I think we found 2 or 3 W's. Like 2 of them were just a couple of weeks apart from the exact same car wash. And then not too long after that, we pulled, and I still haven't even put it away yet, but we pulled a 1964 silver quarter out of there. So that was pretty exciting. Hi, Anna, I'm crazy. So let's see if we can add anything from the car wash to this bunch. Good thing the other camera's off because I'm taking this robe off. It's too hot. And the shirt I have on is covered with paint. I've been trying to tidy some things up that we're going to put in a yard sale and see if I can make a little bit of money. It's a P, and it is a Marshall Billings Rockefeller, which I think I already have, but yep, I need a lot of the things. I don't know why it's hard for me to get the D. I'll get all hopeful, and then, well, that belonged in the other container, but I know I already have it, so I'll set it aside anyway and double check it. Another P. Yeah, I've been watching your diet thing. Oh, here's a Tuskegee. I don't know how many of you have gotten your 2021 Tuskegee Airman yet, but I've been finding quite a few of them. This one happens to be a P, and I need the D. So we just keep hunting. This book has taken a long time to fill, but like I said, it does have spaces for both mints, and that makes a big difference, because it means you're looking for actually 2 of most things and 3 of some, because you got your eyes open for the W's as well. And the design of the book is not the best. After being flipped back and forth so many times, the pages are becoming a tad flimsy. You don't have a 2021 quarter yet, Mikey? Well, I'll set that one aside for you. How about that? I'll put it in with your mom's earrings. Yeah, I got them on my workbench for tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll put that in with your mom's earrings, and then you'll have a 2021 quarter. Can't have American Memorial Park 2019. mint mark, please. Pooey, I needed the D. Like I said, almost everything I need the D. And I don't know why in Virginia I'm having such a hard time hitting. I guess Denver is kind of far away, but oh, here's some more airmen. That one's scratched though. You see up there in the Tuskegee. That one's kind of endangered, and it's a P, so I'm not going to hold on to it. If it was a D, I'd have used it as a placeholder. Oops, I just dropped one on the floor. Actually, there's two of them down here. Come here. Alright, there we go. Like I said, sometimes they fall out of that book. No, I started to watch it one night and then my brother called and I turned it off, and so I never got to finish, but I want to watch it. It's there's a lot. I like military stuff. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. My dad was Army, and I guess maybe that's why, as there was a lot of people in my family who were military all the way back to the Revolutionary War. In fact, I have some that served in wars in Germany, but I can go through my family tree, and I'm going to take an unorthodox route when I leave Virginia, because I want to go to Loudoun County, because my either fifth or sixth great-grandfather is buried there with a special monument that was erected by the Daughters of the American Revolution, and I'd like to get a picture of that while it still exists. So, like I said, I may take a little unusual route. I've been looking at the atlas. There are certain areas I don't like to drive in, and I will actually go out of my way to stay out of them, especially since I will be driving a motorhome that is considerably bigger than the one I owned previously. My original one was a 26-footer with a 2-foot extension, so it was 28. This one is a 30, and it's going to have a car behind it. So that's a bit more than I'm accustomed to. So there's certain areas I'm not even going to try to drive. I'll spend the extra gas money if I have to go around them. And I also have some people that I would like to stop and see. And so there's a lot of that, looking at the atlas thing. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I would like you to welcome, I have a new mod. A fellow Michigander, and the ever popular Diggin' with Deej has joined us. And I appreciate her help very much. I love her shows. She and I have a lot in common about like trying to preserve the history of things. So I think it's really cool to have Deej with us. I don't know that we will have her every show, but I appreciate her being here. I appreciate all my mods being here. I've got some good ones. I've got some really smart mods that know way, way more about coins than I do. Especially when we get into like the penny things and I start getting all flibber flabbered. And archaeology Mikey will jump right in and he'll have my answer for me, or he'll have it pulled up there before I could even type it in. So I appreciate all my mods very much. Because truthfully, I had a little coin collection, but my channel really started based on metal detecting. And unfortunately, not very long after I started doing the channel, that little thing called COVID decided, no, you're not going to get to do that. So I had inherited, well, I had some of my old collection from when I was in high school, which was pretty amazing. But I had also inherited a change box that my friend Tommy just, if he saw a coin he liked, he just threw it in the box. There was no book. There was no, no rhyme or reason to what was in there. He just, if he liked it, he saved it. And so when the COVID thing started, I thought as a tribute to Tommy, I was going to try to take his coins and put them in a book or books, because he had different denominations, and try and finish some of his stuff that he had set aside. So that's what got me back into the coins. And then it got so darn hot that even if I wanted to go metal detecting, I'd be out there 20 minutes and I was in meltdown. So right now, the weather here is absolutely beautiful. And I would love, love, love to be out detecting, but I got to wait for the doctor to release me to do that. So, but I found me a place. Oh, did I find me a place? It's flat, so I can walk it easily. And the best part about it is I didn't have my detector when I was there, but I was just looking at the ground and picking up pennies and stuff. So I know this place has not been detected. And everybody's kind of laughing at me because I got this walker and I'm trying to figure out a way to turn it into a metal detecting cart. Watch me. I'll get it done. I definitely want to get out there and check that place out, because like I said, I was finding stuff on the ground, and I didn't have a detector with me. I was out there with my sister scouting out a fishing hole and some other stuff, and it just happened that this other opportunity has presented itself. Yeah, that's a good question, Deej. How long has everybody been collecting? I started in high school because I worked in a grocery store. And my boss would let me buy the oddballs out of my till at the end of my shift. And I had a really good collection until the 70s, when a friend of mine had a friend who had a drug problem, and that friend stole my collection. Except somehow 2 books of pennies ended up at my mother's house. And what's interesting is I never lived in that house. It's a house that my parents moved to after I was an adult. So how they got there, I have no clue. But that allowed me, after my mother passed, I found them stashed away in her linen closet. So I got that part of my collection back. And so then the rest of this I started a year and a half or so. Hi, Mark Thomas. So I'm sure most of the people in here have been going much longer than I have. Pastor Tim since 1980. That must be a collection to behold. Okay, I didn't find anything for that book. That book is getting harder and harder for me to make any progress on. At some point, I probably will give up on that one being a car wash book and finish it, by going and getting the coins that I need for it. But I decided that what I was going to do with it was go until the end of the year and then see see where I'm at with it. And my house is such a mess. If you guys could see this, you wouldn't even believe it. But like I said, I'm having to go through pretty much everything and decide what is going to go into a 30-foot motorhome, bearing in mind that the more stuff you stuff into a motorhome, the more the thing weighs and the more gas it uses. That was a good idea, Mikey. Bought a lot of silver when the market crashed at the beginning of the pandemic. Now, I had that same thought, because I didn't have the money to to do it, but I did have the thought that people running out of money are going to get into Grandpa's coin collection and spend it, not knowing that the quarter that they just spent was worth $500. They're just spending it because they got to buy some food for their kids. Oh, I gotta brag on Mikey. I want you guys to hear this story because there will be the rest of the story coming later. Mikey and I were both in an auction one night, and there was an Australian silver round in there that was a 75th anniversary commemorative of Pearl Harbor. Now, my brother, who is in his late 70s, his best friend is 96 years old and served at Pearl Harbor, was there when all this was going on. There is actually a photograph of our friend Bud in the National Archives. And his 96th birthday was just maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Well, I was trying to get this coin and it got way out of my range pretty quick. Well, Mikey ended up buying the coin and sending it to me so that we could present it to our friend Bud. Now, because of some things that went on, his 96th birthday celebration got postponed for a few weeks. That gave us enough time to get that coin down there. I got it in a real nice archival case, and they had found some other things about him being at Pearl Harbor. There is a restaurant somewhere in the Orlando area. I have forgotten the name of it, but it is totally dedicated to veterans. And if our friend Bud walks into this place, they won't let him pay for anything. I mean, he's the oldest veteran that comes in there, and he's a Pearl Harbor vet. So the next time they have their little soiree, usually about once a month, all the vets get together and they go in there and they do their breakfast thing. Well, they have made this little presentation for Bud, which includes that coin that Mikey spent a good chunk of money on and then turned around and gave it to us to give to him. So they will be taking photographs of Bud receiving all of these different things. And we sent the information about Mikey and his generosity of purchasing that coin. So I'm pretty excited to see Bud's reaction to receiving that, because I'm sure people have given him all sorts of Pearl Harbor things, but I seriously doubt that he has that, or he certainly would have shown it to my brother. So our whole family is really excited, and we're making sure that Mikey and his family get credit for their part in it. And I just think that's really, really cool. And I wanted to thank Mikey and let people know what a cool thing that was that he did. Because I bid on it until I knew I couldn't anymore because I have to deal with my own little issue. And so thank you to Mikey and his family. Actually, no, that was not a 62 quarter, I don't believe. I think it was a 65. But we'll go back and look again because I've been known to be yapping and miss things. But anyway, now that Mikey lives in Florida, I'm going to try to get a hold of my brother and find out exactly when they're having that little tribute thing to him, in case, yep, 65, in case Mikey would like to go over. It's not that far from Fort Myers to Orlando. You know, in case his family would like to go over and meet. No and yes. I mean, the RV is not going anywhere. It's about an hour away from me. I have not paid for it yet. I have paid for part of it. That's why I said there's going to be a lot of pop-up auctions that are not, I mean, some of them are coin related, some of them are just going to be general household stuff. I'm probably going to be in the hospital in July for a few days. Don't know how many. And my sister's farmer's market is having Christmas in July. So they have told me that if I cannot be there, they will set my stuff up and sell it. The young man who has the RV, 67, he's got some stuff going on right now that's keeping him where he is. So we're not, you know, I am not worried about him selling it out from under me. And in fact, he is helping me do some modifications to it. And truthfully, right this moment, I don't have anywhere to park it here. So it is an hour away, and we're getting it all ready, and he has gone ahead with purchasing a minivan. He no longer needs, he used I thought this was a brilliant idea, wish I had thought of it. Instead of just dumping money into apartments and dormitory rooms, he bought the motorhome when he was attending the University of Illinois, and that was his dorm room. He parked it outside of Chicago, where things would be much cheaper, and would ride the train into school. So for 4 years, he really didn't use the thing very much because he really wasn't home very much. But when it was over, instead of all that money being gone for apartment rental or dormitory room, he actually owned a motorhome. Brilliant idea. So now he has finished that, and he's a music person like me, and we actually have I don't want to say we know the same people, but like he has worked with somebody that I know, and I have worked with somebody that has worked with one of his friends. So we kind of have this connection of I'm not worried about this motorhome going out from under me. If anything, this young man has bent over backwards to help me. His original price on the motorhome was $11,000. Now the price is $6,000, and $1,000 of that is to cover insurance and title transfer, because we're transferring it from one state to a different state, and so it gets a little confusing. But assuming that my medications keep working the way they are right now, we're going to take a little ride down there next week. It's like I said, it's only an hour, and do some measurements, and I need to look at the type of trailer hitch that it has to make sure that I can tow. I have to, let me see if I can unscramble here for a second. My car is a front wheel drive, so you can't tow it flat. You have to tow it on one of the little things where the front wheels are off the ground. So I just got to make sure we got the right ball hitch size and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm very optimistic about it. I think, I don't know, it says there's 10 people in this room. Now, I got this really interesting coin. Actually, I got 2 of them. Yeah, car dolly. Thank you, Deej. For some reason, Dolly did not want to, get in there. And I've towed this car on a car dolly before, just not behind a motorhome quite this big. So I just want to double check storage space, and I'm going to drive it around a little bit more. And yeah, I have driven it. He actually drove it up here and let me drive it around town a little bit, and showed me receipts from very recent things, like all the tires are brand new. The batteries are all new. I am not the least bit worried, Werner. I'm going to, we are actually writing up a contract so that I can pay him part of it and pay the rest on payments, because like he said, he's going to Texas. He's moving in with some other people. So, and he's not like a broke guy. He's not scraping the bottom of the barrel by any sense of the word. He has a 401k, he has stocks, he has bonds. He's not You know, he's not like dealing with fly-by-night Joe down on the corner. And so thus far, I have had zero reason. I mean, for the guy to drive the thing up here, he says, "Oh, well, I'll just drive it up." Okay, you can tow a front wheel drive car. You cannot tow it with the wheels on the ground. It will rip the drive shaft out. So if you want to tow it with the wheels on the ground, all four wheels on the ground, you have to disconnect the drive shaft. I don't want to do that. That's too much work. I have towed this car 3 times now on a car dolly with no problem. Exactly, Deej. He is not depending on the sale of this thing as a source to live on. While he does understand, I kind of am. So no, I'm like I said, I have no problem. He would have taken the down payment a long time ago. I'm the one that did not want to do that. And the reason I did not want to do that is, okay, let's say I signed this contract with this young man and I paid him the $3,600 down and I still owed him the rest. And then something goes bad, heaven forbid, but let's say something went bad and I passed, then he would not get the rest of his money. And I did not feel comfortable with that. So, and the last $1,000 of that is the money that it's going to take to transfer the title, insure the vehicle, that all the extra stuff that comes after the fact. But no, I'm not sweating that one at all. Now I got this in a packet of coins that I think came from one of Spray Can's treasure hunts and was won by Tina, but Tina gave it to me. And it had a lot of foreign coins in it. My friend Sylvia loves foreign coins. So I was looking at them. And there were 2 of these. This is the 1942. This is a Netherlands 1-cent zinc coin from 1942, which was during the German occupation. I'm not going to use the N word, but I thought that was a pretty cool thing to find in there. And then there was also a 1941. I used to have the big, long explanation of why you should not pull it, but it doesn't, it's not a big deal to me. I actually think that the car is more stable on the car dolly. Oh, and I found this on the ground at the grocery store the other day. Looky here who we got. We got a 2021 P. He was just laying there on the ground. Hey, Rosie, you're going home with me, buddy. First one of those I'd seen. Okay, and here's the other one of the German occupied. This one's from 41 and it's not in quite as good a shape. These coins were made out of zinc, and we all know about our zinkins. So, and then there was some tokens, these Olympia tokens. I got 4 of those. There's the 4th one. I've got a bunch I haven't been through yet. And I was going to do some jewelry sales tonight, but like I said, I haven't figured out how to get those pictures up there properly. So instead, I've got a couple of other things that I'm going to sell before we end. 2 of them were previously sold and donated back. And so I thought just to try to put some more money into the account, which I have been working my fingers to the bone trying to do. Since these were donated back, yeah, it may have to do with automatic transmission, but I do remember them saying I would have to take the drive shaft out, and I'm like, oh heck no, just give me the one with the wheelie dealies on it, and we will go with that. I have no problem towing that. So anyway, this was donated back, and so I don't know if somebody might be interested. The original purchaser who donated it back paid $40 for it. So we will put this 1883 back up again, thanks to Pammy Jones, who donated $40 and then sent the coin back. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of auction. I'm just going to do a couple of coins and try to get myself a little more organized. I had things come up today that, like a physical therapist that showed up that was not on the schedule, and she did not want to leave. And I showed her the email where it had been canceled, and she still did not want to leave. And so I kind of had to deal with her for about 40 minutes, and that's why I never did figure out how to do the pictures. That's the best I can go for you, Mikey. Gee, only 2? Wow. At least it's not 30 like the time I was doing the nickel hunt. They took all of those off except 3, by the way, because I'm sure they figured out they were fake accounts. Well, see, once they fix the little thing in my brain, I don't have the double vision. So I have the doctors either are going to release me to drive, or one of my friends is going to come down from Michigan and drive me back up. But the doctor really does not think that the double vision is going to be anything permanent. In fact, it happens less and less now than it was. I drove yesterday. I don't drive far, and I drive my back roads, but yeah, that's supposed to be a non-issue when this is over. So I'm just trying to go with the most optimistic view I can of it. Ironically, the doctor who is doing this graduated from the University of Michigan, so I have a lot of faith in him. Okay, we'll see if anybody's interested in this. I'm starting it out at 30, which somebody maybe think is high, but oh well. I've been known to be accused of being high. Yes, indeed, I have. Back in the days, I would have loved it if I had the multicolored streams and all of the crazy stuff, the psychedelic sort of things that are happening in my head. But that was in 1968, not when I'm 68. Yep, Sir Benji's up at 30. Trying to, this is not the best scope for larger coins. I need to get something to raise the height of the scale. It's a really nice looking coin. I mean, just you can see some wear on the edges, but there's not a lot of scratches. Yeah, I'm not gonna be too awful far. You want your mint mark? There's a big fat O. Big fat O. I did that on purpose, Mark, because one time I was supposed to start at 4:30 and I started at 4:20, and 4 or 5 people came in and they were just cracking up because I had put 4:20. So today I knew I was running behind, so I 4:20'd it. So yes, this is an 1883 O, which is New Orleans. So it's a Cajun. It is a Cajun. But yeah, it's not a bad looking coin. I mean, you got some surface scratching, and you're gonna have that. I mean, heck, I know people that were born in 1983 that look worse than this. I think the reverse is in particularly good shape. Yeah, I know. You know what they're going for, and you know what the money is going for. So please bear that in mind, that anytime you get something from me, you're getting me closer to where I need to be. I don't have a lot of people here in Virginia who can take care of me. My niece is leaving in probably a month or so, and she's been my primary assistant. And so that only leaves my older sister, who has her own deal going on with her husband's health. So in Michigan, I have a lot of people. So come on, I know you guys can do better than 30. Pammy did 40 and then gave it back. So I don't know about you guys. It's a nice coin for a good cause, and I think it would be a good addition to anybody's collection. Truthfully, I always hate it when Mikey posts links and I'm in StreamYard, and then I have to go over to YouTube because he posts links and I'm in, because StreamYard won't always let me go to the link. So then I got to go over and click and see what he has come up with. See, this is why I like having Mikey. He will go and he will find photographs and information. One doubled slightly at top left and on top right of stem. Second 8 is set high. Okay, let's go back over to our other photo, or to the scope, and turn her around and see if we agree with Mikey. Well, see, that's the problem. I'm never going to get enough bidders. I'm a dinky channel, and most of the time, because my stuff is low dough, I'm just not going to get a lot of bidders. But okay, so there's Mikey's picture. And here is what we have under the scope. Yeah, I could use a stimulus package right now, I'm telling you. All right, well. Yeah, we understand why Werner doesn't bid, because he lives in Germany and it's almost impossible to get stuff over to him, but he is a faithful supporter of the channel. He is almost always in the stream. Well, it looks like, yeah, that's true. 20 million people are waiting for their tax returns. Things got so bottled up because of COVID, and just, I know people that are waiting for their first one. Although I kind of blame that on them, they should have made sure that the IRS had their right info and that Social Security had their right info. I never had a problem getting any of mine. I did double check and make sure I had all my information correct, but all right, well, I'm gonna going once to Benji. Oh, I was working on your dogs today, Benji. I think I found some cute ones. Um, I'm doing it kind of the same way I did the cat bracelet, where they're more cutesy dogs than serious. Now, if you want it the other way around, let me know. The bid is 30 at the moment to Benji. Up, Deej at 34. So, anyway, my house is just like, it's just nothing but boxes. I have so much stuff, mostly related to jewelry making and that sort of thing. And so I have boxes everywhere, and I'm sorting it all out to uh, decide. Some of it, I look at it and I say, okay, I bought this, I used 2 pieces out of it, and I have never made another thing with it. So that stuff is all going in a sale box. So right now it looks like my living room has thrown up a craft store. A lot of this, there's a new flea market right down the road. I talked to the young man. He said he would help me set up my tent and my tables. If I can, just get the stuff there. So I have a guy here at the building where I live who will load my car for me. So basically, I just have to drive the car down there, put the stuff out, and see how much of it I can sell. And then I'm making some big lot packages to sell on eBay that are just like giant thing of craft goods. Oh, I hate this. My one key sticks. And that is a problem. When I go to type things in, it'll just I am looking at I'm gonna look at some different ones. There's a that one's running 65. That one's 37, but it's not in very good shape. I'm going to go over to eBay and look at the sold items. I don't care about what they ask for on eBay. I care about what they actually sold for. Because you can ask for anything in the world. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. Oops, excuse me. Now I got the hiccups. Don't you just love it? Goofy hiccups. Like here's one that I'm looking at the close-up enlargement of. And it doesn't look any better than the one that I'm putting up there. And these people are on drugs because they want like $500. But the ones that I'm seeing as legitimate sales are selling about 55 to 60 low end. So that's yeah, 65, 59. And then I'm seeing other ones that are just like grossly overpriced. You know, and I know that they're grossly overpriced. But I'm saying the legit ones in the same shape around $65. The one thing that you have to watch on eBay is the extraordinary number of fake ones. And they're calling them brilliant uncirculated, blah, blah, blah. And you can tell when you look at some of them that they're fake. But, yeah, the going value is anywhere from well, it's in a padded envelope right now, James. It's just getting where there's not going to be much more room in that padded envelope. So anyway, that's where we are at. Going twice for 34 to Deej, which is a good deal, and it's a nice coin. I wouldn't, you know, I've got coins over here in a box I won't even try to sell. I'm just going to throw them in a bag and, you know, kids junk collection, you know, because they have no dates or they're just grubbed up, you know. Oh, they were really faking them for a while. You could go on Wish and buy bags full of them. Now, I went on Wish a couple weeks ago just to see, because all of that's Chinese stuff, and they have really cut them down. There were hardly any of them on there, and the ones that were there were under some really strange titles. So but yeah, there I used to see, like, I would put in US stamps because I collect stamps, and I would get all these fake coins coming up too. It's not as bad now because they've cracked down on them, but it's still bad. All right, as my friend Raven would say, last call for alcohol. The Deej at 34. You got about a second to get in there and snipe at her. And then I'm going to go because I have not taken my meds yet. I haven't figured out how to do this phone thing, but I will have it figured out by tomorrow. I know Deej has another show that she is a moderator on, and I have got to at least clear a path through this place before I fall and bust my butt. Uh-oh. Storm near Clio coming your way. Clio is my former hometown in Michigan. So, as you guys can tell, I didn't live very far from Deej. I just didn't know Deej then. So, when I get back up there, I'm looking forward to being in good enough health that she and I could go do a little metal detecting and bottle digging and vegetable garden planting and there you go. All right, I'm gonna call this one sold to Deej. Thank you, Miss Deej. Love you much. Highly appreciate it. Let me put this in the envelope. I will get that packaged up so that it goes out with either what goes out tomorrow or when Mikey's mom's earrings are finished tomorrow. Sir Benji, my 250 giveaway is tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Lots of free silver and rolls. I don't know if y'all know this, but Sir Benji is another one of our Michiganders who lived very close to me, and I did not know him when I lived there. He's a Flint area feller. I have met so many people from Michigan doing these shows that, people that I wish I knew when I lived up there. And so hopefully I will be meeting them. So on that note, I didn't get everything done that I said I was going to do, but I have now prefaced my things by saying I will do the best I can to get whatever it is done. And the reason for that is simply I'm moving kind of slow right now. They should have me sped back up here in a few weeks, and I'm actually going to work on a video that you guys can see of what happened the day I went out metal detecting, and it was my last trip. It something just went a little wackadoodle in my body and said that was it. And it made me mad too, because I had just found a ring, and I don't know what I did with the ring. I think it's in my car, but I don't know. It'll turn up. It wasn't a precious metal ring, but it was a pretty ring. So yeah, Deej, Sir Benji lives in Flint. So well, I will be having more auctions. I'm going through like just one box at a time of things that are in my house, and as I find them, I am sorting them out so that I can try to do the best I can to not have to borrow money to accomplish this goal. This is not the first time I have been in such a situation, and I mean it's a little scarier because I've never had it actually be that part of my body before, but I'm not. I've had some people kind of take some snipes at me, and I'm just not going to let them, that's their problem. My situation is to take care of me. And the fact that I have wonderful friends on here like you guys that are helping, it's just unbelievably awesome. So, like I said, you will just see me popping up, auctioning off random things. So make sure that you have your notifications set, because you never know. I may be out here at 3 o'clock in the morning because I can't sleep, and open up a box and find peace dollars and Morgans in it, because my stuff is so disorganized, I don't know where anything is. So that's just how we're gonna do that. Jeff is not coming on tonight. Well, I'll go double check anyway. When I first started, Jeff Silversmith was one of the very first people who jumped in and helped me out. Another one was T-Wolf, Handy Andy 73.6, and Rob Finds Treasure. Those were my initial coin mentors. And I know that Jeff Silversmith, his channel used to be banging with people, and now he is kind of in the same boat I am, just struggling along with 15, 20 viewers. So I do always try to go over and check him out. I truly am going to start doing more focus back on my metal detecting, which was the original scope of my channel. I have some beautiful equipment now that I got to use twice, and that was all I got to use it for the first anniversary of my channel. I was given the money to buy my detector has 3 possible coils. I had the stock coil that came with it. I now have all 3 of the coils. I have the small coil that gets in the little spots between all the trash. And I really haven't gotten a chance to get out and play with those as much as I'd like to. I was using that small coil the day that I found that ring. And yeah, I really want to get out and detect. I miss detecting. I like being out walking around in the nature, and so I do have probably, I'm going to say somewhere between 6 and 8 metal detecting videos that I never put together. So I'm going to do those very soon. Yeah, see, that's what's funny, Warner. That was my original thing that I was going to do when I got my other motorhome after my mom died in 2015. My plan at that time was to metal detect, because I had access to my brother's detector, and the other thing, and travel. And the other thing I was going to do was go to little obscure venues and broadcast independent music acts. Like be down at so and so state park, and here's 4 or 5 people sitting there playing music. Let's put them on the air. They're good. So that was my original plan, and I was going to do that from Florida to Michigan, but then life got in the way again. It happens. There's not much we can do about it except just shake our head in wonderment and keep on trying to do the best. And so that's what I'm going to do. Deej, did you get the PayPal? I did send it, but I'll do it again. Some of my commands actually work. I got to figure out this camera thing, though. That is not true, Warner. You can broadcast original music. This is the United States. This isn't Germany. Our rules are different here. You can broadcast original music. You can, well, we don't fly drones in most of our state parks. They're not allowed. And that's largely because some people were flying them over events that were happening in parks, and drones have crashed and injured and killed people. So State parks, they don't really allow the drones. Now, a lot of the states here, you can buy a pass that allowed you to get into any of the state parks for free. I think the Michigan one is like $38, and you can go to all the state parks. Some of them you can even camp in motorhomes. But you absolutely can broadcast music. You just cannot broadcast someone's copyrighted version of music. I broadcast music all the time. If you go back through some of mine, and I've had copyright claims. No, I've had copyright claims and just wrote to them and said, look, so-and-so wrote this song. I have permission from so-and-so to use this song. And after 30 days, the copyright claim disappears. Now, see, I hang out with musicians all the time. My best buddy and I can sit down in the garage, pick up a couple of guitars, and make up a song. I really don't want to put my whole name on here, but it's got 4 parts to it. Well, I have dealt with YouTube on music for way longer than I have dealt with them on coins. I've had my account since 2014 on YouTube. So I pretty much know, I have no problem with them, really. I just don't, because I know the rules and I know how to work their rules. And yeah, that was a good idea, Deej. I have a huge, long name, most of which is going in the trash can as soon as my divorce is final. Oh yeah, like I needed that in the middle of all this. I got a divorce going on too. It's so funny. But anyway, I live in a town where people sit on every street corner playing music. So it's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it with the music. I see a lot of people that don't understand that there's a difference between a copyright claim there's 2 different forms of copyright penalties on YouTube. And one is much more serious than the other. There are there's one that's pretty much a nothing. It'll come up and it'll say that, but it won't pull your video, or it won't do anything like that, and you have 30 days to appeal it. And I have appealed about 15 of them, and I have won every appeal. The other ones are much more blatant, and so there's like a copyright complaint and a copyright, I can't think of the other word. But I'll look them up. But anyway, I've had a bunch of them using music from the band I work with, which I absolutely have permission to use. And every time I get the little copyright who's-y what's it, I have to send them this letter that has the copyright owner's name in it, and that I have permission. And then after 30 days, it just rolls off. The only one that I have that did not roll off, and I didn't care, was when I filmed the Christmas lights down at the local park, and they had this big loud soundtrack that went with it. They were actually broadcasting over the radio, so you could hear it everywhere. And I didn't even try to fight it because it had zero effect. It just made the video where it was not to be monetized. Well, my channel's not monetized anyway, so why would I care? But yeah, if you handle it correctly with them, it goes away. I'm looking for December to see if that one is still on. October, December. Huh, now they've even taken that one off. So, yeah, it's just a matter of how you deal with them. For one thing, I do not go on and play 100 songs. That's where you get yourself. There's two things that'll get you in trouble: starting your video out with a copyrighted song. The analytics thing will grab it in a heartbeat. Playing a whole bunch of them will also get you snared up. But yeah, they've even taken that Christmas one off. I no longer have a restriction on that. And I think it's because it was obvious that it was in the background and it was not something that I personally placed there. But since I'm not monetized, I really don't have an issue with it. Okay, here's the two terms I was looking for. Copyright claim versus copyright strike. A claim is where somebody says, hey, that's mine. And you can protest it and say, look, you know, it was just playing in the background. I didn't put it in there, or I have permission, or whatever. The copyright strikes are where they've warned you and you keep doing it over and over and over again. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. But there are hundreds of videos of people who sit on the corner of Asheville, North Carolina, and play music. And the same with Galax, Virginia. This is an area that is highly known for old time fiddle music and Irish music and bluegrass, and I've never had a big issue. I mean, usually when it comes up, I just laugh and I send them a letter and they leave me alone. All right, well, it's 5 to 7, and there's some folks I know need to be places, and there's a cat here that's going to tear my leg off if I don't feed him. So we're going to go, and like I said, set your notifications, because just whenever I have enough stuff piled on my desk, I'm going to start selling it. And it could be anything from coins to I have a French champagne bucket. I mean, I just have all kinds of crazy stuff that's got to go. So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. Congrats, Deej, on your purchase. I'll talk to you later. James Eller, I will email you and tell you what is in the bag. I mean, right now it's fine, but if we try to stick more than 1 or 2 more things in there, it's not going to go. Well, we're just closing up shop, Muscle Shell, but set your notifications, because you just don't ever know when I'm going to be back on. Maybe I could do that if my arthritis will allow me to do that, Warner. I could well be spotted somewhere in Michigan, sitting in front of my motorhome, playing guitar with one of the people from Question Mark and the Mysterians. You could run into Q and I sitting out there writing music. We do that. We write music on the phone. Sometimes I have to go dig around in my closet and find what I need in order to do that. But yeah, we have definitely been known to be sitting out in his garage or out on his picnic table, and he'll have some idea in his head, and he'll say, play me an E minor, play me a whatever, just name a chord, and all of a sudden he's got something going in his head, and we got a song happening. So, alrighty, guys, thank you so much for coming. We didn't have a whole lot of luck with the quarters today, but that's all right. We had some fun, and now I'm going to go feed the cat before he thinks on dinner. I'll see y'all later. Thank you very much for being here. Way back at the beginning. Anyway, on my about page for my site, if you're interested in donating, the GoFundMe and the PayPal and all that are up there. So y'all can do that too. And I will see y'all soon. Thank you again for being here. I love you bunches.